Hi there, I'm Ulf at HoboRec. Today we're going to talk about plugins, and not any plugins, but my top 5 free plugins. Yeah, as I said, we're going to talk about my top 5 free plugins, and it's plugins that I actually use a lot. I hope you found some good tips here that you can use in your work, hopefully. First one out is Fabline Test, and this one is really crucial for me when I do shootouts, mix revisions, and sometimes mastering, to be able to compare different tracks in a true blind way. And Fabline Test lets me do this by having volume automation, so I hear everything at the exact same volume, which is super important when doing blind tests. It also randomizes the tracks, so you don't know what you're listening to between each time you do it. And then you can write notes on each track and then let HOFA reveal what track is what track. And then you basically know if your assumptions are correct. Number 2 is from Klanghelm. It's the MJUCjr. I'm not exactly sure how they want us to pronounce it, but that's the name. I found it when I was starting to traveling a bit more, and I used to use the UAD plugins, but I also wanted to be able to just take out my computer and do some quick work while I was like on an airport or on the train or something like that. I wanted to avoid connecting too much stuff and finding power outlets for stuff that I didn't need. I mean, the computer works without power for a while on the battery. The satellite thing from UAD does not work without a power outlet. So I had to find some alternative solutions, and one plugin that I used a lot from UAD was the LA3A plugin because of its simplicity. So I wanted to find something as simple as that, and this one is it. It has a couple of more features that makes it a bit more versatile. It can be as smooth as the LA3A, but it can also be really quick and aggressive if needed. Number 3, from HOFA again, it's their SIS Distortion, and it's a part of their like a bigger free bundle. This plugin is like the only one from that free bundle that I use a lot, basically all the time. It's a simple distortion plugin, and it sounds really good. It's not harsh, or like, it doesn't sound like digital distortion. Sometimes I use it instead of like tape saturation, because I've completely stopped using tape saturation plugins, because if I need that, I use a real tape machine. I don't find the plugins to do the thing that I want them to do, but when I need that kind of glue, or like make things a bit muddier or warmer or whatever you want to call it, this distortion plugin is really great. I use it both on individual tracks as well as full mixes, sometimes on the master bus. Just dial back the mix to like 50%. Number 4, from Ignite Amps, PTEQ-X. It's their take on the Pultec EQ, the classic passive tube EQ. This is also something that I used to use from the UAD, but since I couldn't use that anymore, I had to find some alternative, and of course I wanted to try out some free stuff. And this one really does that thing that you need it to do, even though I don't like it as much as the UAD, but hey, it's free and it has some character. I don't really use it all the time, but I use it a lot, so I really think you should check it out. Number 5. Believe it or not, it's from HOFA again. It's their free tilt EQ. In its core, it's just a basic tilt EQ. You can make things darker or brighter, but it also has some mid-side processing. So it has a preset that is made for vinyl or LP mastering, which makes all the low frequencies mono. And this is something that I do a lot as a standard when I'm mixing. It kind of clears up everything. So if you haven't tried it before, you should really try it. It can really clear up the mix a lot. If you have a lot of low end that is out on the sides, and bring that into the middle, and you get much more focus in the low end, and like the stereo image can sometimes open up by doing this. Sometimes it feels like magic, but you just try it yourself and you see what I mean. And the easiest way to do it is by just downloading this plugin. I mean, you can use a lot of mid-side processing to achieve this, but this one already has the preset to do it, so just throw it in there and it works. It has a paid version that has some dynamic EQ options that makes it a lot more versatile and can make it do all sorts of weird and cool things. But this free version It's really, really good too. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. And that's all the plugins that I'm going to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to share in the comments if you have any tips on free plugins that I haven't talked about here that you think I should check out. And I try to join the discussion. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to catch the next video. See you next time. Bye bye. Cheers.